Kabir, lived in a small town surrounded by green fields and dusty roads. Life there was simple, quiet, and predictable. Most people spent their entire lives doing the same work, following the same routine, and dreaming the same dreams. But Kabir was different. Ever since he was a child, he dreamed of becoming a successful writer. He loved stories and the way words could inspire people, change lives, and make someone believe in themselves. Every evening, after finishing his work, Kabir would sit by the railway station with a notebook in his hand. A train passed through the town every day. To most people, it was just a train, but to Kabir, it represented something much bigger. It represented opportunity, success, and the future he wanted. As he watched the train disappear into the distance, he imagined himself traveling to new places, meeting new people, and one day seeing his books in stores around the world. However, there was one problem. Kabir never took action. He had hundreds of ideas, but never finished any of them. Whenever he thought about writing a book, fear appeared in his mind. What if nobody likes it? What if I fail? What if I'm not talented enough? Those questions stopped him every time, so he kept waiting for more confidence, waiting for more knowledge, and waiting for the perfect moment. Days became weeks, weeks became months, and months became years. The notebook that once held his dreams slowly filled with unfinished pages and abandoned ideas. Every day the train continued to pass through the station, and every day Kabir remained exactly where he was. One evening, while sitting alone on a bench, he noticed an elderly station master watching him. The old man had worked at the station for decades and had seen thousands of people come and go. After observing Kabir for several days, the station master finally walked over and sat beside him. "You come here every day," the old man said. Kabir smiled and replied, "Yes, I like watching the train." The station master nodded and said, "I've noticed something. You always watch the train leave, but you never get on it." Kabir laughed softly. "It's not that simple." "Why not?" asked the old man. Kabir looked down at his notebook and said, "I have a dream of becoming a writer, but I don't think I'm ready yet. I need more experience, more confidence, and more knowledge. Maybe one day I'll start." The station master smiled gently. "My son, I've heard those words from many people." "What words?" Kabir asked. "One day. Do you know what happens to people who spend their lives waiting for the perfect time?" Kabir shook his head. The old man pointed toward the railway tracks and replied, "They watch opportunities pass by, just like trains." Those words stayed in Kabir's mind. That night, he couldn't sleep. He kept replaying the conversation over and over again. For years, he had blamed fear, lack of confidence, and bad timing. But deep down, he knew the truth. He had simply been afraid to begin. The next morning, Kabir made a decision. He opened his notebook and started writing, not because he felt ready, not because he felt confident, but because he was tired of waiting. The first page wasn't very good, and neither was the second. Some days he wrote only a few sentences, while other days he stared at a blank page for hours. Many times he wanted to quit, and many times he doubted himself. But he remembered the station master's words, "Opportunities pass by like trains." So he kept writing. Day after day, week after week, and month after month, something began to change. His writing improved, his confidence grew, and most importantly, he developed discipline. A year later, Kabir completed his first book. When he looked at the final page, tears filled his eyes. For the first time in years, he had actually finished something. Excited and nervous, he sent the manuscript to several publishers. A few weeks later, the responses arrived. Every single one was a rejection. Kabir felt crushed. All his hard work seemed pointless. For several days, he considered giving up. But then he remembered the train, the station master, and how long he had waited before taking the first step. This time, he refused to quit. Instead of giving up, he improved his manuscript and tried again. More rejections came, but he kept going. Finally, after months of persistence, one publisher accepted his book. The book didn't become a bestseller overnight, but readers loved it. They shared it with friends and recommended it to family members. Slowly, the audience grew, and years later, Kabir became a successful author whose books inspired thousands of people around the world. One day, while visiting his hometown, he returned to the same railway station. The trains still passed by, and the platform looked almost the same. As Kabir stood there, he remembered the young man who had spent years waiting for the perfect moment. A smile appeared on his face. At that moment, he understood an important truth. Success had never come from talent alone. It had come from action, not perfect action, not fearless action, just action. Before leaving, Kabir looked at the tracks one final time and whispered, "Thank you." He finally understood that opportunities are like trains. They don't wait forever, and the people who achieve their dreams are not always the smartest or the most talented. They are simply the ones who decide to get on board. Moral of the story: the perfect moment rarely arrives. If you keep waiting until you feel completely ready, you may spend your entire life watching opportunities pass by. Start today, take the first step, and trust that progress will follow.